Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today the plan is to level up some of our heroes that are in Veteran while potentially leveling up some of the surrounding areas. Just giving like Pantool here and some of our other heroes that are resting some extra time to rest. But we will potentially be leveling up a few heroes here like Ver, and with enough shenanigans, Belcott the Estranged, which will be interesting. So the plan is actually to go into the runes, which is a short, which actually doesn't give that much resolve experience, but we do have the Ancestor's Portrait and we do have Kraken ribbons. So that's the goal and how we're going to be doing this, but we'll see what happens. So the party for today is Vetra the Tempest, Junia the Vestal, Ver the Trapper, and Belcott the Estranged. The goal is with Vetra to be mostly using high voltage. This bypasses any riposte that might be there, does a lot of damage, and we're going to bypass the recoil on it with using Surge Protector, so that won't be a problem since we can't really heal. Also, because things like tetanus on some attacks is a thing, we do have the Mortal Rebirth, which not only ups high voltage damage, but also on monster kill, the party will no longer have any diseases or mortality debuffs as long as they're not at 0 health. Other than that, we do have Phaser to shuffle single targets, minus their speed, minus their crits, and she gets a free move action. For bigger fights like the Bone Knight or things like that, we have Amplify. This ups the entire party's crit multiplier and gives Vetra a riposte. And in emergencies, I can shift her back using Phaser for free move actions and damage, and then use Shock Coma to give blocks. We then have Junia, our Vestal, using pretty much Mace Bash. Because we're in the runes, we're facing a lot of unholy things. This does plus 30% damage versus anything that is unholy. We also have Lucius, which does plus 25% damage as a base, and the Heretical Passage, which does plus 33% damage as a base. So her base damage right now is 10 to 21 before adding in the 30% damage versus unholy. She also gets plus 10% debuff chance, and we also have things like Illumination, which will bypass stealth, debuff enemies, de-stealthing them, and Hand of Light upping her damage even more depending upon how I want to play this. We then have Ver, the Trapper. He's going to be our scouter using the fabricated map, upping our scout chance and monster surprise chance. Because we're not marking, his fungal claw will be doing a blight, which will go into what Belcott our Estranged is doing. But for bigger fights, we do have the confusion spores lowering accuracy. We do have defensive traps guarding an ally, giving us a riposte. And just for the money, because we have a lot of champions to train yet, we have Skin Prey to get the prized skins. For his other trinket, we have the Ancestor's Pen, upping his melee crit and damage by 10% because Fungal Claw is a melee skill and that is his main damage. Finally, Belcott the Estranged. We're mainly using Pierce Earth and Twisting Arrows because those are realistically his best moves and they are really good. And to make them even better, because Ver is blighting things with Fungal Claw and usually going to be faster than Belcott, I have the Blading Respirator. This ups his accuracy and damage versus anything that's blighted, so that Pierce Earth and Twisting Arrows are going to be doing more damage. Otherwise, we have the Ancestor's Portrait, because we're 6 resolve experience away from hitting level 5. A short gives 4 resolve, a short veteran gives 4 resolve experience. The Ancestor's Portrait will up that by 2. Kraken's Ribbon will up that by like 1 more, so we should realistically have enough to hit level 5. That's the goal, that's what I'm running with. We'll see what happens. Once again, taking all the food because that's how I'm healing. We're going to take Kraken Ribbons to heal up. Things bleed us, so we're taking bandages. We're going to want medicinal herbs just because of 1, debuffs, but 2, we can use them on curios. We're going to want skeleton keys. We're going to want holy waters for different curios. We're definitely going to want torches. I'm going to take a few extra just because Creeping Mist. I'm really tempted to take some of these other ribbons, but realistically, I think I'm going to want to save them for some of the champion things, and we'll be off. No, I'm not forgetting shovels again.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar. Now.
Alright, pretty straightforward till we get to the end. I'm not going to get anything out of this fight. Alright, I'm going to move high voltage after this, but high voltage.
Pit.
I think we fried the maggot. Another one down for the trapper. Bonk
Another one falls.
Okay, just for my sanity here.
These nightmarish creatures can be
High voltage first, then phaser, then amplify, then shock coma. Alright, there's our scout torch. See what we get. I mean, it's gold if nothing else. We can sell the Charm of the Isle. Silver Severance is worth more than a stack of gold. Hunger check already. Alright. I want to fight the Shambler, but I also want to be smart about this. I'll come back for him. Alright, so Ver. We're going to hit the Bulwark, I suppose, since we can't hit anything else. Junia. Probably either take out the Bulwark, but we can unstealth the Veteran, which might be helpful later on. Zap Gaming.
Annihilated.
Arbalest Gun. And then we can Twisting Arrows. Hit the Bulwark? Yeah. So Bulwark goes, but then Blight takes him out next round, so I don't have to worry about him too much. And he even spent his turn guarding, so realistically, I don't have to really do much. Hit the Veteran.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I suppose we'll take him out.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Pierce Earth to pull in. Ah, that missed. Then Junia can Hand of Light up our damage. Now we have corpses to at least get with the Trapper. Now he's in front row for everyone to hit. Zap. Really? He does have dodge. And I didn't put any plus accuracies on anyone. I mean, it is an 80% chance to hit. Here. I was going to say, if that doesn't hit, I'm going to be very disappointed. Can take everything, but don't really want everything. What's... 85 on the Estranged, will take that just for the de-stress. I'll come back for these. Maybe not on Vetra for the Statue of Light, just because that is plus damage until camp, and there are no camps here. So that's a good case use of actually grabbing that before I potentially go into a battle room. Fungal Claw hitting Bone Commander because that is a Blight. Gonna Phaser hitting the Conscript. Then we get a free move forward. I think I have something to move back with Belcott here, yeah. So Skewer, Stinging Skewer moving back. And I can at least do, Judgment here on the Conscript.
Obliterated.
Oh, good thing that missed. I thought that was the stun. We're gonna Skin Prey take that. I know I could have gotten a little bit more on the commander there, but that's fine. We're in row 2, so high voltage. Pierce Earth, pull the Spearman in.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless
that's what I was hoping not to have happen. Judgment again.
A virtue.
And phaser.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Take that prize skin, take the jade. We'll take everything we can.
And driven into the mud.
Vault party order. I think I can get rid of a quirk here. So let's get rid of a static. We can. Well, not the one I wanted, but it's something. Grab what we can. Heal up a tad, because we don't have, realistically, too much more to go. Dude, this is going to be a fight. I really want that observer down. But we'll see what we can do. Ardent armor actually is going to be the last one I take out here. High voltage onto observer. Or observer down so it can't stealth anything and give me that stupid quirk. Pierce earth. Or let's just go at the Grotesque here, the 1 and 2, rather than Pierce Earth pulling forward, because I do the same damage to the one that's hurt. And then I have a better chance at taking it out.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Confusion, nerves, and panic.
Ah, you bugger. So I was going to high voltage the Grotesque now, but now that's going to go at the Ardent armor. No riposte for you, though.
Festering fear.
We're still going to bring him in closer. That's going to help long run. And Das Bonk.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Now you're all alone. Silly gargoyle tricks are for kids. Got him blighted with the crit. We're gonna phaser him, and the blight takes him out. Das Bonk.
Eradicated.
Hey, we hit for his max health. Always fun when that happens.
Success so clearly in.
Uh,
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
can heal up, take the busts, because realistically I do need them, and the heal kinda helps. And we have 16 food to go into these last 4 rooms. And back to the Shambler, which there's a hunger check.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Let's head to the right. Can I get more damage on Vetra? We got more damage on Vetra. 50% damage until camp.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Alright, let's see here. We're gonna Fungal Claw the... I'm not sure, because I like the Punisher down because of the marking, but also the Judicator down because of the stunning. I guess Judicator wins out because of that stun. We can Pierce Earth, pulling them 4, because then the Deadbolt can't do as much. Mace Bash Judicator, hoping to take him out. There we go. And we're going to high voltage onto the Judicator so that we don't take as much damage. Or the Deadbolt, rather, but... Alright. Well, now that got tricky because he has 1 health left. But he's guarded. And I don't think I can AoE him. High voltage the Errant then. Crit would have taken him out, and that's what we were fishing for, but such as it is. I think what I can do is because I can't bypass the guard, what I might be able to do is take out the Errant with the Mace Bash. I mean, I was hoping. Technically, I could Scraping Driver, and that would take him out. One of the few times that's very, very useful to use. Bring them in forward, that way I can hit whoever I want. I think Phaser. No, Phaser is not going to take out the Errant, so we'll leave that to Junia taking the Punisher. I mean, if I would have done the crit, it would have taken him out, but eh. Passing the turn just because I don't want Junia out of 2 for now. Ouchie. Mace Bash Errant. Hey, we cracked the shield. Stinging Skewer moving back. There we go. Yay, Skinses.
Momentum. Push on to the task's end.
We have so many Skinses. Yeah, we'll leave it. Of course it's trapped. I do want to go to this last room, then we'll go back up to the Shambler. Because there's a lot of Ancestor stuff and Shambler stuff I don't have yet.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Okay. Fungal Claw. Spearmen, because screw the Spearmen. Move them forward. Twisting Arrows, wake up Terrortooth. DOS Zap Terrortooth. Bonk Gargoyle. I did want to get the Bone Veteran out of stealth, but I didn't want to be stunned and have the Gargoyle stuff going on as well. So defensive traps. That way if they hit the back rows, they get hit. Amplify for riposte. De-stealth. And they're about to have a bad day. I mean, I got hit too, so it's not great, but taking what we can. Leave the rest.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzy
into the room, which has nothing. I'm gonna save my food until I get up here because of the hunger checks, but then we'll eat everything before the Shambler and heal up. Let's see, hunger check 1. Nice little bit of heal. I'm gonna have to dip the torch in there anyway, so I'm not gonna have torches. There's the food. We're gonna use the holy waters on Vetra, Belcott, and let's go Junia. And then... okay, let's try something because the spot I don't want Junia in is 4.
A star spawned horror.
Somewhat worked. Okay, so amplify for the crit and the riposte. Mace Bash on Grotesque. You know, if I Hand of Light, I get more damage for, like, the rest of the fight, so let's do this once. Twisting Arrows, getting rid of any dodge. Nope, that didn't work. And then we're gonna Defensive Traps on Belcott for now. And then we get 2 riposts.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Riposte got 1. Riposte got another. I'm actually kind of surprised, but ooh, you're not looking great. High voltage on Shambler.
Well struck.
It's about half down. Mace Bash Gaming. We're going to Confusion Spores, lowering accuracy. So minus 65% accuracy. Twisting Arrows, lowering dodge, doing damage. Go riposts.
How quickly the
Flapper
tide
Claw
turns.
down. Go Vetra. Remembrance. Excuse me, what? I don't think I've ever seen that one. Confusion Spores again on Shambler. Knowing that we're gonna lose the riposte. High voltage Shambler. Shambler down.
There's a fever dream.
You are beneath me.
For the corpse.
To the eldritch horror of the Shambler. Okay, Vetra.
Decisive pummeling.
And all I got was a dodge stone, a citrine, and some gold. I feel cheated. I feel cheated.
The great ruins belong
I didn't even get
to
the
us.
squirming milk gland,
We will
which I
find
hate.
whatever secrets
And
they
I
hold.
and I would have just held on to it so I didn't get it again. $32,000 gold in collected treasure, so roughly 36,800 gold. 6 bust, 4 crests, the whale warmer for the Oni, which realistically I'll never use, just because it's plus healing done, stress relief done, and non-friendly skill clears debuffs, which not a bad trinket, don't get me wrong, it just doesn't work well on this estate. As planned, Ver and Belcott hit level 5. Junia and Vetra on the cusp of hitting level 5. No one got much stress out of that. Faded on Belcott, Survivalist on Ver, Farmstead Tactician on Junia.
I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor.
If I leave Pentool alone, they hit level 5.
And the letter was
Idle Gem Hunters gain 1 Resolve level plus 10% scouting on next quest plus 5% monster surprise on next quest. Let's go. Nomad Wagon, nothing I want. Lilia's set up to get these locked in. Things are looking great. Just looking at who might have like a bad quirk to get rid of. Let's get rid of Megalophobia on Legion. Armada. Just because he might be fighting rank 2s, or size 2 pluses. Picard, I'd like you to be able to crit more often, so getting rid of Aesthetic. Para, I see 2 things that realistically are good, so early riser locking this in because I like my torch. Locking that in with Hot to Trot is amazing, and then Winded if HP below 50%, I don't want that speed down. So that is a good get off. Okay. Looking at what we can do now. There's a medium in the Farmstead, there's a medium in the Warrens. I think it would be good to level up the Warrens. I also don't remember how much we've leveled up in the Farmstead. The Farmstead is also a pretty quick one if I remember right. So I could do this, get some experience on Lilia, just to get her up there. And then next dungeon, everyone I want is at level 5. I think that works out. And this also gives me caretaker convention, so I think that's like everything is... No, that's not everything free, but... Yeah, this works out. And that also gets me shards for fun stuff, so let's go. That just means Vetra gets the same trinkets pretty much because this is working out really well for her. We're still going to go bonk gaming on Junia. However, we might need to go with the de-stealthing more because there are more stealth things in the farmstead. Ludell is realistically there just to bleed things, which is fine. And I can give her the blood charm. And then Lilia here, going to do something slightly different. And we're going to try that giant's ring out. So... Same thing here with Vetra and Junia, we have not changed anything on them. Ludell is just a backup Duchess, but we're going to be using her the same that we have with a lot of other Duchesses. So she's mainly going to be using Crimson Downpour to bleed a lot of the back stuff. This is just extra damage on things, but she's going to be the only one bleeding, so that extra bleed amount received isn't going to be doing much work, or as much carrying things as other people have been. But it is extra things so that 4 for 3 bleed is going to transform into much higher. We're going to have Thirst for Power to up her damage versus and on any bleed. Feed the Beast just to do extra damage versus anything below 33%. And the Noble Obligation as a plus damage received and a pull. We have Nobusuma's Glare to up her accuracy and her crit rate, especially if she is in beast form, and then Blood Charm just to apply an extra bleed on hit, especially for Crimson Downpour. Then we do have Lilia, the White Priestess again, because she has been performing very, very well, and she might replace my main White Priestess once she hits level 5. We are going to change her skills though, because she's not going to be moving at all. So we're going to be using Abyss Keeper as a mark. Blight, not that anyone needs a mark, but it's a free action type deal. We're going to be using Dark Witch to minus protection doing a Blight. The Heretic to do extra Blight and extra damage versus anything that is size 2. And then just in case she gets in the front rows, Guardian none to move back. Last Rites as a power things up. Her trinkets today are going to be the Merchant's Hat again. This ups her speed and on attack hit, summon Western Merchants. And we're going to be testing out the Giant's Ring today, so this ups her movement resistance. And then on attack hit, buff herself for plus 10% damage if she is in the same position. Well, so she's just going to be staying in rank 4, hitting a lot. Then, because Pantool isn't going to be doing anything, they're going to be hitting level 5. And that gives me another Gem Hunter at level 5. So let's go do this, have a little fun in the farmstead, and have a few more people hit level 5. We're almost done. Alright, so we're going to move to the curio to the right, then to the one to the left, then to go up and search, because this is a lot less battle rooms. Oh, I forgot Laudanum for shards. Maybe we won't just go searching all around. This is minus stress done for battles though, right? Minus horror received for 1 battle, yeah. I wasn't thinking gather shards, even though I said gather shards. Hunger check already. Oh, the Chain Giant might do a little bit of damage here. So Abyss Keeper, the Mongrel. Alright, we do get that buff. I wanted to double check that we were getting it from the giant one. Then Dark Witch Mongrel.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And there's Birdie. I especially want Vetra going at the Chain Giant because bypass repulse.
Masterfully executed.
You can get the Mongrel.
Obliterated.
Mongrel down. Just for next round at least. Gonna take a little extra damage because I didn't take out the Cutthroat, but that's fine. Monstrous Affliction. We are gonna downpour him, even though it's only gonna hit one enemy. I was hoping to get the debuff off on him, then we're gonna thirst for power on him. So he's gonna be taking a little bit of bleed there. Then Abyss Keeper Outlaw. Does Heretic do any more than Dark Witch? That's a shame. Like, realistically, I really wish that Heretic did more to size 2 enemies than Dark Witch. I wish it had just a little bit more of a bump in power. Actually, I kind of want to see this. So it says 5 to 10, but is it taking into account that plus 100% versus size 2? Okay, still hit for 7.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Bonk Cutthroat. I think Cutthroat goes down to Blight. No. But we're still going to go at the Chained Giant here, just because bypassing Riposte. And he goes down to Bleed and Blight.
Death by inches. Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Getting rid of Bleed. And get rid of Cutthroat.
Continue the onslaught.
Which means now I think I need to get the anti-venom on her because the battle ended.
Success so clearly in view.
And she didn't cure that.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
10 Comet Shards, that's a start. Trying to see where the
A fortune waiting to be spent.
quest items might be. We're gonna go to the left first, then go up top. Unless I see one, which I don't. I'll come back for all these, that way less of a chance at hunger checks. Quest location 1. Think we can do Vetra for traps. And see how this goes. Alright, let's take out the vines. This Keeper 1. If I Heretic, I hit for 3 to 6, I'll Blight for 3, so it's going to be Blighted for 4. And then the little guy goes off, so I think that works out, and then I also hit the meter.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Yeah. High Voltage, the other vine.
Annihilated.
The slow death, unforeseen.
Bonk Mater, now just the Petrified left, which I'm not going to bother transforming for.
The abyss returns even the boldest
I think
gaze.
all I can do is Abyss Keeper to hurt him now. Which is the little bit unfortunate part about the White Priestess in range form. She can't really hit rank 1. Alright, Phaser. There's her power, bleeding him, so taking 7 damage around. And DOS Bonk, he drops.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Kind of a funny image in my head when you think about the petrified guy bleeding out, like petrified blood bleeding. Alright, since there's just 2 battles up there and nothing really else, I'm not gonna bother going up. We can use the food. Then, once again, up battle. I want to make sure we're in a good spot to do everything here, because, once again, does the torch do anything here? Or a Montrecy for 1 battle again. Okay. Because, once again, all we need to realistically do is gather all the uncorrupted harvests. But that being said, there's a lot of extra battles here. Room battle with Curio, room battle with treasure. A lot of battles. Alright, so they don't have much health. We're gonna hit one of the spitters. Heretic, the spitters are gonna have a bad day.
Their formation
So
is
one
broken.
definitely goes down, then
Maintain
Merchant
the
goes
offensive.
off, Spitter and back dies due to Blight. We're gonna high voltage one of the Webbers. Ooh, that's bad. Bonk Webber.
Another
So just
abomination
one left
cleansed from our lands.
that I'm realistically hoping Thirst for Power does its job. Lead for 5, alright.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Well, we get plus 10% stress here, so that's why we're having a really bad day, technically. Curio. So probably in the hallway or these rooms are what we're looking for. I am gonna firewood here, just for the
Huddled
stress.
together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
I do not think the White Priestess is religious at all. So what we can do is encourage Electron Cloud for the dodge. I'm gonna have her do Spirit's Vigil for the prevent. Yeah, that's the better prevent nighttime ambush, because at least we get a scout from this, so it does stress them out. I'm gonna have her do Respite so she gets stressed down. And then we're gonna do LED to ignore stealth. I think this gives me food, which is very helpful given the situation. We can go to the treasure room. This, we don't have the thing to knock out a quirk, but that could knock out a quirk had we done that. Going for the eggs before they transform. If I do Heretic, I might Blight the Herald, and then Bird takes it out. Didn't Blight the eggs, but that's kinda to be expected. Eggs can bleed, so Monstrous Affliction. Downpouring. Eggs drop to bleed. Voltage on the last Herald, and then we just have the last Vine, which I think we can bonk down. Plus stun chance minus speed. That's a little worthless on this
Rolled
playthrough.
and driven into the mud.
Yeah, we'll leave that stuff. Alright, secret door, Curio, quest location up top. Okay. I have keys, I'm gonna go to the secret door. Make sure I can actually get there. Alright, key.
If only
Got
treasure
McBain's head,
staunch
which,
the flow
once again, very good head.
otherworldly corruption.
I just can't use it on this playthrough with how things work, because on Monster Kill heal 20% HP. We'll also get rid of the makeshift frog gloves, because while good, I just don't see myself using them on the half foot in particular. Plus 40% stun, bleed, and blight resistance, plus 30% disease resistance minus move resistance. Usually when I'm using the half foot, I want them in the back row, especially on this estate, and I want them to stay there. So minusing the move resistance is not how I like to play them. And then Otherwise, like, I want things like extra blight, extra bleed, or other effects on them rather than just upping the resistances, if that makes sense. We'll leave the gold.
Trinkets and baubles.
Go in here.
Paid for in blood.
Sleeper's Shepherd. We'll ignore the stealth here. Grave Robber. So definitely taking out the Mercenary Grave Robber. Actually, it's 100% damage and 25 crit if we use the Heretic. If I crit, I might take out the Grave Robber. We do a lot of damage to the Descendant. So let's last right Heretic. And we missed the Grave Robber, which was the big thing I wanted to do.
Gnawing uncertainty.
We're going to high voltage. Let's hit the Grave Robber because they're the bigger thing here. Down they go. That should get me a few more Comet Shards. Affliction, Downpour, because that should take out the Descendant with the Bleed and the Blight. And has the extra thing of leading the Mater. And then we're going to bonk the Shepherd, which should now dissonance them on its turn, doing damage to the Mater, I hope. I hope that was enough damage. It was not, and that was a kind of cool looking effect. Alright, hit one. Have to pass. Yeah, that was sharp, alright. Getting rid of bleed. And thirst for power. Dust Bonk. Taking what we can.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Don't need the shovel. I would like the jade, but I don't think it's going to get me too much, everything considered, so we can leave that. We'll go up. The quest location is right there. Technically, we're finished after that, and I can do as many fights as we can fit in. Alright, let's do this. Oh, it's, the Rugged Vine. I was thinking this was the vine with, 2 actions. We're gonna Dark Witch the thing.
Festering fear consumes the
Then High Voltage the Mater with the Repose. That is a miss, unfortunate. No stun, awesome. Bonk Mater 1. Affliction, Downpour will bleed Mater and the Foreman.
and improvement.
Alright. Yikes. At least that bleed goes away after this. Keeper on Foreman. Dark Witch Foreman, I think. Actually, no. If we Heretic, we... No. Dark Witch Foreman, because then Bird helps take Vine out. And then with the Blight, it goes down. High Voltage again, Mater. No Riposte. Bonk Mater. Foreman left has 5 health. So we'll do this. And now everything drops. I always like the pull with the finger with no obligation. It's kind of a fun animation.
Creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Don't think we need to use any of it grab anything, nah. So taking this quest can... Oh, quest complete after we grab the hallway. I'm like, wait, I thought that was quest complete. No, I forgot about this one. Now quest complete. We can continue, which I kind of think I should, just for extra fights and possibly extra loot, but we'll see. So, high voltage. Let's see if we can't take out the... You know, let's take out the hero just because of the ghost.
Fiend.
Be safe. Take out the Mater and 3 just because of reach reasons. That's a Blight for 4. Birdie goes off. If we do Affliction, Downpour, Mater bleeds out, Heavy Bleed on Descendant.
Perform beyond one's limits.
And we can bonk Descendant.
Eradicated.
Was not expecting that to take him out. Okay, so just Scarecrow left. Ooh, Lilia has a problem hitting because of everything hitting ranks 2, 3, and 4 instead of 1. We have to use Phaser on Vetra, which I'm kind of surprised that missed. I'm not sure how a Scarecrow has 24 dodge when he's wriggling around on a pole. I guess the pole technically is disjointed. He's hitting the one person who can hit him reliably. He is smart. Bonk. You know, when we
Remind yourself that overconfidence
mace bash him and
is
potentially
slow and
break the
insidious killer.
stick that he's on, does that break his spine? These are questions I have for absolutely no reason. But they get me wondering. Did I potentially just break his spine? Little bit of de-stressing there. Do another battle. Kinda high up on the stress thing here. You know, I was really tempted to bring something on Lilia here to maybe evolve White Priestess. I wasn't sure I should have done it, but now I'm really thinking I should have. Okay. Crusader, Cultist, Grave Robber. Which one do we go for? I think the Grave Robber does the most damage. The Occultist has the most, like, debuffs and things against me, and the Crusader just buffs them. So realistically, my gut says go with the Grave Robber. And then we're gonna Dark Witch him.
The blood.
No Blight, but that's fine. They're almost down. Mace Bash the Occultist. Oh, they do have a decent dodge. This may hurt. They turned purple. Huh. Plus damage versus not human? I'm sorry, but how do you classify that against heroes? I can kind of see that on vintages. Like, I think he has a bird classifier in those. Or for, like, the, Red Prince and the Trophy Hunter, they might be lizards or something. But for most of the heroes that realistically aren't human, even the Duchess, who I think is more of a bloodsucker technically, isn't she? how... I'm sure there are things in the back-end coding, but how can you classify things as not human? Because to me, this would be an undertaking of, like, plus damage versus the Duchess, plus damage versus Trophy Hunter, plus damage versus select heroes, because I wouldn't trust a lot of... I mean, it's not even a thing of trust, I just wouldn't think that a lot of people would put modifiers in their files of saying, this hero isn't a human. This hero is a dragon. Like, why would they do that? What reason would they have to say that this hero is a dragon, rather than this hero is a hero? These are things that make me question coding. Like, I'm sure there is a reason for that plus 25% damage versus not human. Don't get me wrong. But it's things that make me question, like, is that a coding side thing on the Mercenary Grave Robber that makes that work? Or is that a coding thing on all of the other heroes that make it work? These are questions I have that will probably never be answered. Also, is it just me? Because I don't remember her flashing pinkish purple. Does her color change depending upon her buff? Or am I absolutely bonkers and the Grave Robber actually always changed that hue? I could be bonkers. Anyway, moving on. Let's do the fight. Crimson Downpour, bleeding what we can. We did not get the Grave Robber. I'm gonna high voltage the Occultist, just get him down so he doesn't heal the Grave Robber that we've brought down most of the way. Or is this even a thing of just like versus beast form, in which case she's in beast form right now? These are the questions I have. High voltage on Descendant. Well, I would have lost that gamble. I was going to bring the trinket on her that could have evolved the White Priestess quirk, but I only have one shot either way of if she afflicts, I don't get the quirk. If she virtues, I evolve the White Priestess quirk. And I would have lost that gamble because I need her to virtue to get the quirk. Okay, Grave Robber down. Thirst for power, bleeding the Mercenary. I was hoping to DOS bonk him. Oh, that hurts.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
I was hoping the bonk would take him out, to be honest.
Injury and despondence. Set the
We can
stage
get
for
rid of that. And then thirst for power again. Taking what I can.
At least
And torch for the accuracy. And we'll leave it at that. Yeah, we can push it. I have some food. We'll see if I can get to another fight. If there's a hunger check, I won't. But I think we're good to do another fight like this. Oh, it's been looted. Specifically left it. Yikes. Okay, well... I think we're good to get to one battle room. I say. Okay, we are. It might be a little risky to do more, but we're good. Alright, so let's get rid of these vines. They got multiple actions. One's a bleeder, one's a blighter. If I do the heretic, we'll hit the jewel snail as well. So one's bladed for 4, has 5 health left. We're gonna high voltage the other one. Really should have gone for the jewel snail there, but that's fine. I can bleed the jewel snail, so realistically, if downpour goes off and bleeds it, I can leave it alone. It's bleeding for 7 out of 10 health. It's not gonna do anything to me. Das Bonk Mater. Because of the reflection on this guy, I'm not gonna do anything. Oh yeah, that's the thing. I don't got much anti-venom left.
A trifling victory.
Take the stack of gold,
But
leave the
victory
jade.
nonetheless.
It's a debuff, stress for 1 round, 2 round, 2 round. Really should not be doing this. Last fight. Last fight. I'm not going to go all the way down. Oh, it's this one. So Sleeper Shepherd can buff all of them. Anti is going to buff all of their dodges and guard them after he buffs his dodge out the wazoo, so he needs to go. So marking him with Abyss Keeper.
A brilliant confluence of
86 to hit him with Heretic, which would also hit the Grave Robber. I'm going to last rites that just for the funsies. Getting the plus damage on it. Which missed again. I should have gone for Dark Witch. High voltage. This breaks anyone it hits. Huh? Okay, I'm slightly confused here. Why does high voltage... Okay, I'm pulling up Vetra's page here quick. Okay, so what I'm confused about is this class, or if I use high voltage on the Mercenary Occultist, who has 10% protection, it does a 27 crit rather than a 52 crit, and 10 to 19 damage. The Mercenary Grave Robber here and we have no quirks changing anything here either, mind you. The Mercenary Grave Robber, if we hit them, we have a 52% crit and do 20 to 38. They have the same protection, they don't have any buffs on them. I don't see anything on the page saying it does less damage to rank 2, nor on the skill. But it could be a thing. So I guess we'll go at the Grave Robber rather than the Occultist because we will body them if we hit them. I mean, realistically, same with the Anti, but Grave Robber is going to do more.
impressive.
I'm just not sure why we do more to the Grave Robber than the Occultist when they have the exact same protection. That's what was confusing me. We're gonna bleed both of them with Monstrous Affliction. And then just so the Shepherd doesn't do as much, good old bonk. And that should damage them as well. Because Dream shatters. A little bit of a heal. Heal did nothing. It did blight them. How's that feel? Because that's usually my luck. Abyss Keeper. They go down, but we're still gonna Dark Witch them. Thirst for power, potentially bleeding. Got one bleed. Phaser. And bonk should do my job. There we go. Oh, we got the deed to the courtyard here. Minus stress in the courtyard, plus 5 speed versus Bloodsuckers, minus stress dealt if has the Crimson Curse. That will be handy. I think I have the other half of the set as well. I might have the other part of the set. If we, an empty court, playing host to a bloody coronation. Plus 30% bleed chance if in beast mode. And plus 20% debuff chance if has Crimson Curse, which is kind of nice set. I do believe that the citrines are actually worth more than the bandages there. Get rid of the medicinal herbs for the portraits, and we'll leave the rest. So, good bit of gold. Nice trinkets. Even if I can't use McBain's head. We got out good. I did want to use a McBain again, or not McBain, the Lilia in the next quest, but we'll see what I can do about that. Maybe I go do something else next time, and then come back and level everyone up. But Vetra and Junia did hit level 5. Junia got faded, Fragile on Ludell, and Enteric Fever, which, since she's kind of a backup, that's not the biggest deal. Tranquil Mind, which is kind of nice, plus 5 accuracy, minus 10% stress, which useful.
The preponderance of
Treatment and medical ward are free, so we will take very heavy advantage of that. Let's see here, who needs what removed? I kind of wanted Unquiet Mind, just so I could get stress relief on Finn easier. You got everything on Picard, right? Okay. Getting Shocker off of that Vil might be important, just so he doesn't get stunned while we're at it. Yeah, we don't need any of those. And we'll get Enlightened off of Evelyn so she can actually get some stress, because once again will only meditate. Junia, stress relief. Lilia, stress relief. Nomad Wagon, nothing I want. So, realistically, I think I can get everyone to level 4 or 5 next time, because it's Cran and Lilia. It's just a matter of getting them to that in the next dungeon. So, I might hang out and do something else while Lilia is getting to level 5. Just so I can have that nice little backup and start going towards leveling up some stuff in Champion, because like the Ancestor's Coat here, for an example, is available, which is a really nice trinket to have, and I've kind of been wanting, so I might go do that while I'm waiting for the level 4s. Next episode, get everyone to level 5, then just start hitting the ground running, getting the bosses, getting all the areas to the max level, and seeing where we can get with what we have. since it's the Warrens and it's a champion, and realistically it's my first, like, other than I'm not even sure I've done champion boss other than the Viscount, but since it's my first, like, actual modded run in an area, I'm not sure how well this is gonna go, but we'll see, especially because it's a Warren and that might get a little dicey with all the things that can pop up there. But we'll have some fun and see how that goes. Realistically, I don't know who I even want to take. There's a lot of potential that I can do for funsies, so I'll take a look at what we have because we have a lot of opportunities and go from there. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I'll see you next time, and please have a good one.